What did you do? What is this, oh? What is this, mangango? This is my lemon cake. This can love, you can do my best.
Welcome guys to our YouTube channel. This is Astrid and Ojay.
What's up, guys?
So today I'm gonna show you how we make, how I made the favorite cake of mon coeur here.
Yeah.
Which is a lemon and yogurt cake.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite cakes because it has that a bit of sourness in it. Lemon is that acidity. I love it on cakes. And since I might say that I'm not a sweet tooth, but I am when it comes to lemon cake.
So we started by grinding lemons to be able to have 3 tablespoons. Then we measure the butter. So I put all the recipe in the comments on below. So if you want to try it yourself, you can. Yeah,
you can just check out what she's putting up there.
So now we add the rind to the butter that we will later mix when we add the ingredients.
Okay.
Why do you like this cake?
I think this is one of my favorites. I think it's just like I've said. Lemon has got that acidity in it, and when you put it in a cake, it actually gives you a very, very nice feel when it comes to for a cake. I don't know how people love their cakes.
Because it's not too sweet. You like it bittersweet.
Yeah, but for me, I think this is one of my favorite cakes. And also, ever since you made it the first time, I think you really did a good job. And I was like, oh my god, you always be making my lemon cake. Yeah.
So I had mixed the lemon grind, the sugar, and the butter together. And then here we add 3 eggs. So in between each egg, as you can see, I put 1 egg. Now I'm mixing very well. So you want it to be mixed together before you start adding the other eggs, which is like the following process that I'm doing. So in between each, you just mix well. So now I'm adding the 2nd egg.
So what you're saying is you do for this recipe, when it comes to eggs, you put 1
and then I mix
one as you continue, you just do it in bits until the last egg.
Obviously, if I had like another kind of mixer, it would have been easier because I don't have to like put my mixer on next. Yeah. But this is a good way to do it.
And also, I feel like doing this is one of the best ways to be able to master your mix. When you put things in bits, it's easy for you to know the consistency, the texture, and how it feels.
Yeah, because
and also it's an easy job, you know what I'm saying?
And it's meant to be really well mixed, guys, together. So you have to make sure that everything is just one, and there's not like some butter left on the side, or the egg has really mixed well. And I think I'm gonna show you now how it looks like. It's it almost felt actually when I did that. I was like, oh my god, I really almost did a catastrophe.
I also feel like the next video maybe we have to do, we are going to use a transparent bowl so that
people can
it's easy for people to be able to see how it is, so that they can also judge whatever they're making theirs.
Maybe.
You know,
So now the same lemon that I used to grind, obviously I'm using the same ones now to take the juice from it. So for me, I just needed like to have 2 big, because we need like 2 or 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
So I used 2 bigs, which was largely enough. And then I take my spoon and then I will add it to the entire mix. One thing I really like with this recipe is at the end of the day, you only need 1 big bowl. So I personally used 2 bowls, as you can see there's one, the green one next. So the green one I was using it to measure, but then the big white bowl I was using
to put everything
together.
I think also, just to speak about lemon also, depending on how sour you'd want your lemon cake to be, you can definitely just add more. I don't think it hurts, it's not gonna spoil your ingredients, but do not overdo it so that you also don't make your mix too wet.
So now with the flour, this one is a self-rising flour that I add pole like slowly each time. I use the same process that I use with the eggs. not everyone likes to use like pasteurize it. I don't know how you call that in English.
What's that?
That red thing here.
Like a sieve.
Yeah, not everyone likes to sieve it, but I think for me, growing up in with like chefs in my family, they always told me it was a very important process, so I always kept it. But you don't have to do that step. It's just to try to avoid lumps.
Also, I think it's good to sieve just to avoid the lumps, and also, you know, sometimes you have flour in your shells for the longest time, like 3 months, 2 months, and they usually build lumps inside. So because of how old it is.
Yeah.
So I think for sometimes it's just depending on how sure you are or not.
Yeah.
It's preferably well to just sieve, because cakes are different than making breads. So,
wow. So this is how it looks like. And then in this one I used a yogurt to add, but I used a vanilla yogurt. Obviously you can use anything that you want, but I know that Ojay likes vanilla, so I just added that, and instead of adding like some vanilla extract. As you can see as well, I'm using the wooden spoon, so I was measuring, now I'm adding.
Okay.
That's why I was saying I would sometimes use the green bowl to measure. And I changed the mixer. I didn't use. Okay, I use the wooden spoon now instead of a mixer
because it's like easier to combine.
Better. Yeah, and it's also better because obviously you don't want to over mix it, but just well enough.
So this technique is called folding. You're just folding everything together. Wow, awesome.
So you continue, which was actually really nice. It took me a bit longer, but usually it's not a very difficult recipe to do. Okay, now it didn't take long.
But how long was it? Like just putting everything together, preparing ingredients?
20 minutes. Me, I like to take my time, so that's why I said all this, because I was listening to something at the same time. But this is how it's meant to look after everything is put together. But it can take you like 15-20 minutes. So now I'm preparing my pan. So I'm using some butter that I'm putting everywhere, so that I'm sure
just to grease all over, so that it doesn't stick, which is very important. You can actually make a very nice cake, but when you forget this part, you'll have to eat your cake from the pan, which sometimes it's very
chocolate cake. And then I cut a baking paper to put at the bottom. So you just measure it and then you cut, and it's gonna
these are one of the techniques to be able to measure your tin. And
actually Ojay showed it in our first cake video. I think you can go back and watch it if you want.
Our first cake video, I've actually shown you guys on how to cut it, so you can check it out there.
So now I'm adding some butter at the bottom, obviously, so now when I'm adding the flour, it can stick everywhere. So now you add the flour. It's an extra step that I like to do, but depends. I think it's kind of a preference.
Also, I think some people have like sprays. There's some particular sprays, and also there are those non-stick pans which are really good, that it doesn't require a lot of work, but just to be sure and having at the end goal you've done a clean job. I think it's a clean job. It's good for you to just grease your pan. It's very important.
So now I'm putting everything in, remove some of the bubbles, and just showing how it looks. You have to level everything up, and you put it in your oven. And I let it bake for a bit more than 50 minutes. Then it looks like that.
It's very pretty.
And you arrive just after that, by the way. It
looks like a smile. It looks like two eyes and a big mouth.
I think you arrived like 2 minutes later, and I was like, oh my god, thank you.
I was feeling my cake from wherever I was,
So now I'm just removing it from the pan, and I put it on the top because, but you can also put it in on a
rack
tray, on a rack to let it breathe.
Yes, so that it doesn't soak wet underneath.
And voila. That sound, did you hear it?
You're eating my cake here.
It's very crispy at this point. I hope you can do it.
Guys, you should try on how to eat a hot lemon cake. It's really good.
I actually had to redo that cake because last time he ate it cold and he was not happy. So he was like, please can you redo it? And so this is the cake. Let us know what you think.
Woohoo!
That's me when I enjoyed the first slice as well. Thanks, guys.
Bye. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.